you guys doing? This is important too. In reference to the night that my mother got shot in Beverly Hills, she got shot 9 times when these assailants, some people know who they are. One of the assailants that shot my mother had gotten arrested outside the house. Somebody was trying to say that Jay Rockefeller was in the house the night my mother had gotten shot and I had gotten shot, and there's a Jewish friend of ours that got shot in the house that night. And he carried me out of the house because I had been shot. I was injured or something. And somebody had tried to say that Jay Rockefeller had entered the property that night after my mother had been shot, and he had intentionally leaned over my mother and said that he was going to steal everything from me in reference to my mother and father's estates, and that when he was saying this, he had placed his hand over her face and suffocated her to death the night she had been shot in the mansion in Beverly Hills. People need to check to see if that information is correct or not. I know Jay Rockefeller it's not his real name. I'm not sure what Jay Rockefeller's real name is, but he is a Christian German. My mother and father and my grandparents was not Christian Germans of any kind. So in reference to Jay Rockefeller, that's not his real name. My mother had court cases against him for his activities of illegally using the Rockefeller name. There needs to be court cases in reference to see if that information is correct. The video from inside the house of my mother's mansion is admissible into court to prosecute every single person that was involved in the murder of my mother. So in reference to the activity, if Jay Rockefeller had been in the house the night my mother had been shot, the audio in the house would have picked up the information, the cameras would have picked up information. And in reference to his activity of entering the house, the outside cameras would have picked up the information. And don't forget, Beverly Hills is a private neighborhood. So if Jay Rockefeller was in the house the night my mother had gotten murdered, and I had been shot, and the Jewish guy that was there in our house, he was a friend of ours, had gotten shot, the audio and the video needs to be admitted into court if that was the situation, and what the situation was of that night. But my mother had been shot, and I guess Jay Rockefeller had leaned over her and suffocated her to death the night she had been shot, because she was still alive after she had been shot. That information and all the videotapes need to be admitted into court to find out if that information is true. Any missing video, people get prosecuted.